So virtually driving for storage is what I mean by that is Google Maps. And if I could show you, I would, but essentially you're going to pull up Google Maps and what you're going to do, the first thing that you really should do is just do storage near me. Okay, storage near me. And then that way you can kind of get an idea of who the players are around you, right? Is it like big names like CubeSmart, Extra Space, public storage? Or do you live like in a smaller area where you're seeing like, B&B storage and AAA? There's a lot of AAA storages, because back in the day you wanted to be like the first one in the yellow book, right? So you do like A&A storage and AAA storages. If you see a AAA storage or A&A storage, that one, that facility's been around for a long time, right? And even if they have like regular names like B&B storage and we got a G&G storage right now that we're working on. And we got a lot of storaways and like store your junks and stuff. I mean, that's some older names now. A lot of people, the newer names, you're getting a little more savvy, you're getting some smarter names, but back in the day, it was a lot of AAAs. And so you're going to just look at Google Maps and you're going to really so the thing with Google Maps that I tell everybody is that in order to get onto Google Maps, it requires a lot of work. It really does. It requires a lot of work. If you ever put a business on Google Maps, then essentially you just know that it takes a lot of effort, time and effort. Okay. So you're going to go on to if you're going to set a business up, you're going to go on to business profile listing. Or I think, no, not, sorry, business person, Google profile listings, I think is what they call it. I can't remember what they call it actually. It's like Google My Business, or like they change the name, like every couple of years they change the name. So it's like Google My Business or Google profile listings or something. And you see, and so Google Maps is actually the fastest growing search engine in the country. And almost, it's growing very fast, even across the world, it's growing. But in the country, it's the fastest growing search engine. I mean, just think about it. If you need something, you just go on to like Google Maps, right? And, that's what I do too, right? But the truth is that in order to get onto Google Maps, you have to go through the process of the Google Business Profile Listings process. And to get through that process, supposedly it's easy, but it's really actually not easy. To be verified to be a business on Google Maps is quite an obstacle, and it could take several months to do. In fact, every once in a while we'll get a business that just immediately gets put onto Google, but then sometimes it takes months. Like our Blairsville facility, it took months to get us on Google Maps. And they wanted us to go there and video the place and show the sign. And you had to be there present to actually say, yes, this is my business. All right. And then, and then sometimes they'll send you a postcard with some codes on it. So you get in, you set your profile up, you get them to mail you a postcard. They mail you the postcard with the code on it. And you have to go back in, you have to put the code in, and then you have to set the rest of the stuff up. And it's really actually kind of a lot of work. And so guess what? A lot of storage facilities are not on Google Maps. Who would have thunk, right? Who would have thunk? A lot of storage facilities are not on Google Maps. And I call those the hidden market. And so my virtual assistants look for properties that are not on Google Maps. How do you do that? You do that by virtually driving for storage. It kind of sucks. It takes a long time, right? But my virtual assistants have gotten so good at it. Oh my gosh, they're so good at it. And what my virtual assistants do essentially is they'll spend half a day, they'll spend a couple hours until they can't stand it anymore, virtually driving for storage, and then they'll build their list. They put the list on the sheet, right? They'll also go into Google Maps, and obviously going onto Google Maps and putting storage in this area, or warehouses or mini warehouses, and searching all the different names, then all that pops up, and then you put it onto your list, right? But finding those ones that are not on Google Maps, that's really what's the tedious work. And so you want to spend some time really building that list up. And the way that you do that is virtually driving for storage. You go onto satellite imagery through Google Maps, and you'll go into a town. Let's just say you pull up some town and you're like, small town in your area. It has maybe anywhere from like, 10 to 30,000 people in it, let's say, right? And you pull it up and you can type in the word storage and you'll see all these storage facilities popping up and you'll put them onto your list. Guess what? There's going to be a handful of storage facilities in that town that are not on Google Maps. And your job is to find those, because those that are not on Google Maps, those are the ones that you really want to contact. And a lot of times too, you'll find like an abandoned storage facility as well. We've actually bought abandoned storage facilities, and we found them either driving for storage or virtually driving for storage. Okay. And you get the best deals when you find an abandoned storage facility, right? Yeah, we bought one that was like 150 grand, and it's worth like 600 grand right now, so you could really find some good deals. And we just found that one driving for storage, or I can't remember if it's driving for storage or virtually driving for storage. So you're going to get on there, super tedious work, right? But if you're like, detail oriented, then you need to get into Google Maps and search through these towns. And even these little tiny towns, like in between the bigger towns, these all have storage in them. And most of the time, those are not on Google Maps. You'll have, if there's a town of, a couple thousand, and if there's a couple hundred people, there'll be a storage facility. In fact, we own a storage facility in a town of 400. Like, it's called Warm Springs, Georgia, if you know that area. And we bought a store, it's 60 units, and we bought it. I bought it just because I was driving for storage. I called the owner and talked to her, and she's like, yeah, my husband just died. She's like, I really don't want this thing. I was like, can I buy it? 60 units. And I picked it up for 100 grand. And it was only one of the first ones that I bought. And that thing's probably worth around 400 grand. I mean, it's 60 units. It's not quite like at, 80 cents a square foot, but I think it's pretty close to 80 cents a square foot. And, we really try to push our price per square foot to be 80 cents a square foot, 80 or higher is where we're kind of at. And in the Southeast, now some areas a little bit lower, but there's some areas that are like super low, and you really, you just need to be careful about those areas. But I think over time, the price is going to be around 80 cents a square foot. But yes, so we have a facility in Warm Springs, Georgia. I mean, y'all could search it. I mean, the name of our company is Miss Lillian Self Storage. We have two: Miss Lillian Self Storage and then Mission Self Storage is our two. We have 11 facilities under Miss Lillian's, and then we have 2 under Mission right now. We're about to buy another one under Mission. We're closing at the end of this month, and then we're picking up. We have another one under Mission that we're closing next month. We're picking up the one in Tennessee as well. So you could just Google us if you want to. And so Warm Springs is a little tiny storage facility. It's like 60 units, and we picked it up for 100 grand. And and it took us a good maybe year or so to fill it. It was all filled with just like the owner's junk, that like all their family members have been using it, and that's it. It took us a good year or so to fill that thing up, because it's a small town, so you just have to know that it's just going to take a little while to fill it up. But you know what the truth is like, we haven't been to that facility probably in like a year. We have a lawn maintenance guy that lives like literally right around the corner, and he mows that thing, and then he changes the lock for us on the gate every month, and that's it. And then every once in a while our boots on the ground person will go out there and take a look at it, make sure it's okay and stuff. That's it. We paid 100 grand, and we'll probably sell that thing for at least 400 grand when we're going to sell it, right? So that's pretty good, right? We're not even just going out there and doing anything to it. And it's been full for at least a year or two, a year, if not longer. I'm not sure. We've had it for like maybe 3 years now. So it's been full for a while. But for just not doing anything, just doesn't take a lot of work. But we found that that's a tertiary market. And everybody always asks me, like, can you buy facilities in small markets? I mean, the truth is like, how much money do you got? If you don't got a lot of money, then you should be looking at a tertiary market. When I first started, I didn't have any money. So I got a facility. I got borrowed $100,000 from somebody, and I paid 9% interest for it, and got it filled up. My mortgage, I think, is like Yeah, my mortgage was like maybe $900 a month on it, something like that, you know, and we're making like $3,000-4,000 on it right now, so it's doing pretty good. Anyways, so yeah, you're not going to make a lot of money on it, you know, every month. You're not going to make that much cash flow on it, but in the end, you'll be able to sell it and make some money on the back end too. So you make a little bit of cash flow, and then you'll make some money on the back end, right? So, okay, so driving for storage. Now, Google Maps, all right, just virtually looking for property on Google Maps. And I've done a lot of videos on that on YouTube. So make sure you go to my YouTube channel and just type in, you know, Google Maps, Stacy Rossetti or something like this. And if you want to see me virtually driving for storage, just watch those videos, okay? Because I can't show you today, unfortunately.